Matt LaFleur's mismanagement cost the Packers a win.
Let's go through it.
So Jordan Love completes the pass to Matthew Golden out at the Chicago 21, 1st and 10 with 3:11 left, stopped clock.
So if you're the Packers right here, you are thinking, okay, the Bears have all of their timeouts. I need to make sure I waste all of their timeouts and bring this clock all the way down. So what you need to do is think about making the ball move with an easy run somewhere. You have to get the clock moving and either see what Ben Johnson's going to do, and they start off with a run.
Absolutely. Look, you have to start off with a run. That's the great play. You want the clock to continue to run, especially coming up with that 2-minute warning. It's an extra timeout for Ben Johnson. So they do run. They get nothing from it. Ben Johnson calls a timeout. And this is interesting.
That's big.
Because now we know what Ben Johnson's strategy is. He's saying, I want this to be the last time my defense is on the field. I want my defense to stop them from scoring a touchdown. If we hold them to a field goal, great. But they're not scoring a touchdown. I'm calling timeouts. This is very important. Matt LaFleur needs to pick up on it.
So there we go. Ben Johnson called timeout. Now his cards are on the table. Like, this is the last series, because if the Packers get a first down, they can pretty much bleed the clock pretty low. So if you're the Packers, the clock was running. Now it's stopped from a timeout. What you need to do is make sure you have a high-level pass, like a high possible of a completed pass or a run. But what instead, they run this tight end fade to Luke Musgrave one-on-one, and it's incomplete.
It absolutely can't happen. Luke Musgrave is about the 4th best receiver on the field at that point. And even worse than that, Jordan Love is looking at the direction of Romeo Doubs, who breaks open on the flat route. At least hit him with the ball. But either way, I'm even more upset about Matt LaFleur, because that's another outbreaking route going to the sideline. We want to stay in bounds. We want that clock to run. We want short possessions. Again, the Packers have the lead. They don't need to score. They don't even need to score early. So absolutely very bad call.
That's another, and the clock is stopped, right? Ben Johnson needs to use his timeout, but the clock is stopped. So right now you're like, I need another high completed pass or a run. But what instead you do is let the play clock run all the way down and take a delay of game. You cannot take a delay of game in this situation. You took a delay of game. Now that's another timeout. The clock is stopped. Now you back up 5 yards with your already shaky field goal kicker at this point.
It can't happen. Look, a lot of just mismanagement all around from the Packers.
I mean, end zone shot.
Again, your only real objective, if you're Matt LaFleur, yes, obviously you want to score a touchdown. That's a huge deal. But as a secondary option, Ben Johnson has to run out of all of his timeouts. And that's the absolute least. And if they ran the ball 3 times, Ben Johnson would have no timeouts. He would have called all 3.
And then on this last play right here, right, the clock is already stopped. Now you know Ben Johnson has 2 timeouts. And now you're like, I'm just going to go for broke and throw an end zone target. Another, like, not high-level pass that is going to be completed. So at this point, you're just giving up on the drive. Like, you're trying to get the home run here, but it's really not that close. And now you got to kick the field goal. And Ben Johnson has 2 timeouts.
And again, it's like, Matt LaFleur, do you realize you're up? You don't need to go to the end zone.
Make sure,
Unbelievable. Now it's 4th and 15. Here we go. Brandon McManus goes for the field goal, and guess what? He misses it. And look, should he have made it 100%? But those extra penalty yards, they do play a factor. That's 5 extra yards in the cold Chicago night, and that is the reason why the Packers lost.
The worst case at that point for Matt LaFleur is they don't score, and Ben Johnson at least has no timeouts. But in this case, Matt LaFleur, they didn't score, and Ben Johnson still has 2 timeouts. That's where the game management can really lose you the game.